This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, we were talking about point number 4. Point number 4. According to point number 4, we need to always understand you are working for an implementation project. When you're understanding that you're working for an implementation project, please make sure your client is currently not working on SAP. Your client is working on some other application. Now, this other application other than SAP is always represented as legacy system. When we're talking about legacy system, it can be any ERP application. It can be any system other than SAP, meaning it can be Tally, it can be Oracle, it can be JD Edwards, it can be Microsoft Dynamics, and so on. There are so many ERP applications with which you can perform your accounting. Any ERP application, any accounting tool, any accounting application other than SAP is always represented as legacy system. And when you're working on implementation project, you're moving the data from legacy system to SAP system here. Next, point number 5. Point number 5 is related to reporting requirement. This reporting requirement is of two types. One is local reporting, another one is group reporting. We understood BMW is not a domestic company. BMW is a global company. Whenever you're looking at any global company, we know that it is operating in more than one country. Global company is operating in more than one country. When a company is operating in more than one countries, it is an international company, global company. According to international company, according to global company, what will happen? In every country, they need to prepare local reporting, and for their head office, for their corporate office, they need to prepare group reporting. Local reporting is to meet the local rules and regulations. Local reporting is to meet the country specific rules and regulation. Group reporting is to meet corporate level rules and regulation. Meaning, if you are talking about BMW India will become local reporting. BMW alone will become group reporting. Meaning, total BMW financials are taken at group level. Group level means BMW India, BMW China, Singapore, Dubai, everything is part of group reporting. Meaning, in the group reporting, you are going to perform consolidation. For the consolidation, you need to follow separate reporting. For the local reporting, India business will have to report in India. US business will have to report in US. This country specific reporting is always represented as local reporting. Corporate reporting used for consolidation purpose is always represented as group reporting. Once you understand local reporting is there, group reporting is also there. Next thing we need to understand, local reporting you are going to prepare in the country where your operations are currently going on. We are understanding BMW India. According to BMW India, business is happening in India. You need to submit all your financial reports to Indian authorities. Maybe Indian Companies Act you'll have to take as your base, and then you need to submit your financials to Indian accounting auditors called chartered accountants. Chartered accountants in India will have to review, validate your financials. Similarly, if you're operating in group or if you're operating in different other countries, for every country you need to make sure group reporting is followed. Group reporting is based on the corporate guidelines, or group reporting is based on BMW guideline. BMW will decide for us to do the consolidation, this is what the group reporting we are going to follow. Now here there is a same accounting logic, same accounting standard followed across the BMW countries. Wherever BMW is operating, in every country group reporting is followed. For this group reporting, what is going to happen? Company will decide. In our example, company is BMW. BMW will decide at all our locations, whether it is India, China, Singapore, wherever it is, everybody is going to follow IFRS for our group reporting, for our consolidation purpose. Like this, there is one accounting principle adopted. For group reporting, it is always IFRS. For group reporting, it is always IFRS. Local reporting changes based on the country. If you are operating in India, we are all aware, according to India, every company must prepare their financials, their accounting according to Indian Companies Act or according to Indian accounting standard. Similarly, if you take any company in US, can we follow Indian accounting standards in US? Is that allowed legally?
No, not allowed.
Not allowed. In US, how you need to
US GAAP.
prepare your accounting? You need to follow US GAAP.
Yes, sir.
Right. Similarly, if you're taking any other country, the respective country will have their own local accounting standards, their own local accounting principle. The country specific accounting standards when you're adopting to prepare your financial is nothing but local reporting based on the local accounting principle, based on the local accounting standard. Here, local representing the country in which your company is currently operating. When it comes to group reporting, it is not representing any particular country. This is representing common accounting principles, common accounting standards, which will be applied in every country. There is only one common accounting standard. There is only one common accounting principle, which can be applied in all the countries. What is that common accounting principle?
IFRS.
IFRS. We need to understand IFRS is used commonly across the globe, meaning in every country IFRS is allowed. Now IFRS is followed by all the companies for their consolidation purpose. Whenever they are consolidating the financials at a company level, at a group level, they always consolidate based on the IFRS accounting standard. Next one, last point, you need to understand something related to financial year, reporting currency, accounting principle. Now, in our example, if I'm talking about BMW, according to BMW, we have two now. When I say according to BMW, we have two. These two are nothing but two reporting requirement. One is local reporting requirement. Another one is group reporting requirement. According to local reporting requirement, BMW India, local becomes what? India. Now, according to India, what is the financial year to be followed in India?
April to March.
April to
April
March.
to March.
April to March will become the financial year. This financial year is also nothing but accounting year. This accounting year is called as reporting year. In short, this is the fiscal year in SAP. As per India, every company will have to follow April to March. Can I say that I do business in India, but I don't follow April to March? Is that possible?
No.
Not possible because this is a legal requirement, legal compliance to be followed by all the companies doing business in India. Agree?
Yeah.
Right? This is a legal requirement which is to be followed by every company. So your April to March will become a reporting year for all the companies in India. All the companies in India will have to submit their reports in what currency?
Indian
INR.
currency.
INR, Indian
I
rupees. If I prepare my financials in dollars, will any chartered accountant review it?
no.
Will any
No,
income tax department accept it?
No.
no,
No.
No. You have to strictly follow INR. Any
Yes.
possibility of change here?
no.
No.
Not possible. No matter whether you are a small company, whether you are a very big player in the market, it is immaterial. You need to follow the rules and regulations. Now here, your reporting currency, official currency for all the companies who are doing business in India will become INR. Now, which accounting principle to be used in India?
IAS.
IAS,
Yes.
Indian accounting standards will have to be followed for preparing the accounting. Now, no other option here. You have to follow these guidelines strictly in order to do business in India. Now, this is for your local reporting. When I say this is for local reporting, Indian accounting standard, April to March, INR to be followed. What in case of your group reporting? Group reporting is for your internal consolidation purpose. When I say internal consolidation purpose, in order to consolidate total sales of BMW, total purchases of BMW, total expenses of BMW, total revenue of BMW, total assets of BMW, likewise, you need to take a total BMW value. To take total BMW value, I need to include all BMW companies, BMW India, BMW Singapore, BMW US. Likewise, I need to include everything. Agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? To take everything, usually what is happening in every country, there is a different rule and regulation. India, I am reporting everything in INR. Singapore, I'm reporting everything in Singapore dollar. US, I'm reporting everything in US dollar. When I'm talking about consolidation, because of different guidelines followed by the different countries, I cannot straight away do the consolidation using local reporting. Instead, what I will do, I will use one more reporting called group reporting. With the help of group reporting, I am able to do my consolidation. To do the consolidation, I am doing a sum. When I'm doing a sum, I'm just doing a total. 1 plus 1 plus 1 is equal to 3. Right? Now 1 INR, $1, 1 Singapore or 1 Singapore dollar is equal to 3. Can I say this? Possible?
No.
Let me put this here. If I say 1, here also 1, here also 1, I'll say this is 3. Total is 3. If I don't put anything, is this 3 correct now?
Yes.
If I don't put anything, this 3 is correct. On the other side, when I put 1 INR, 1 USD, 1 SGD, here also 3, but 3 of what currency? I cannot put this as a 3. Agree?
Yes.
Yes.
Because these 3 are not in the same currency. Am I correct?
Yes.
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 To do the consolidation, I need to make sure all these 3 are in the same currency. To take all these 3 in the same currency, I need to depend on something called group reporting. You need to depend on group reporting. As per group reporting, you will represent dollar as a common currency. As per group reporting, we will always represent a dollar as a common currency. In every country, you will be using a dollar as your group currency. If you're talking about India, India will prepare their reports. India will account every transaction in Indian rupee, at the same time in dollar. Indian rupee to report to the local authorities, dollar to report to the group authorities. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Indian rupee for reporting in India for the local authorities. Dollar also is updated for the purpose of your BMW consolidation. Similarly, if you take Singapore, in Singapore, every transaction is recorded in Singapore dollar. At the same time, the same transaction is recorded in dollar also. Singapore dollar to submit to the local authorities in Singapore, dollar to submit to the BMW for the corporate. In short, for your consolidation. Now, these things slowly we need to understand. Now, according to consolidation, according to group reporting, every country or every company will follow dollar as a currency, IFRS as your accounting principle, January to December as the reporting year. These 3 parameters we need to understand, which are common for all the legal entities, irrespective of the country, irrespective of the company. Every company most likely will be using group reporting based on dollar currency, IFRS accounting principle, January to December reporting year. Is this point clear? When it comes to group reporting, any company, you replace any company, it is not specific to BMW. You take any company, if they're talking about group reporting, is based on these 3 parameters, most likely majoritarily. Blindly you can remember it, blindly you can tell this to anybody. Okay, group reporting is based on dollar, IFRS and January to December financial year. Clear these points? Whatever we discussed, whatever we wrote, these 8 points, you need to make sure these 8 points you can relate it with any company that you take. That is the first point that you need to work with. Clear? These 8 points, and with any of the company you should be able to work. You take any company, you take any country, it's up to you. Just replace these 8 points, then you are good at the basic fundamentals that are required before you start your configuration, before we start our preparation. If these points are not clear, if we are getting confused here, it will be difficult. When I say this will be difficult, this is not going to add an understanding in such a way that you are clear with the subject, you are clear with the concept. Make sure from the subject point of view, from the concept point of view, you are not having any confusion. If you are having a confusion, it is practically not possible for us to feel confident. Okay. Any questions so far on the topics, whatever we've discussed now? You can raise your hand. Akram,
Yeah. Hi, Ajay. Good morning. Uh, these are the 8 steps we need to follow on the each and every company when we are creating any company in the SAP, right? Like,
these are mandatory, not these are only 8, these are initial 8 for our
okay,
understanding only, understanding purpose only, not related to configuration. Related to configuration, I will write additional points which will include all this 8 again. But this is
Okay.
just to understand, just to begin with.
So these are the things we need to follow as the initially level to understand the SAP how it's work, right?
Correct. Because the first point for your configuration is your company and then company code, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Just like that, we should not create company and company code. You should know certain basic parameters, fundamentals on which you are creating a company code. If these points are not exercised at least 1 or 2 times, usually whenever you create a company or company code, hardly there may be around 10-20 companies around in your mind. Agree? You may not be able to take more companies.
Yeah.
Even if you take 10-20 companies, everything may be same. For example, you take Tata, then you will take Tata Motor, Tata Steel, Tata Capital, Tata, all this kind of a thing. Everything is Tata. You need to take different company, only then you will start understanding. Because tomorrow you are
Okay.
working in 5 projects, 5 are different companies,
Yeah.
right? 5 are different companies. Now every company will have the different business process. We need to make sure we are not getting confused there. To avoid these situations when you're in a project, we need to make sure here we are able to put effort in such a way which is going to help you in your project tomorrow.
Okay.
These
So
points what I'm writing is not to make you create company code easily. It is to make sure you understand easily wherever you're in your project tomorrow.
okay. So in that we can take any company like service based or non-service based like that.
Anything, it's up to you. Whatever you feel comfortable you can take, but make sure
But we
these
need
8 points you are able to apply there. That is the only point. I took BMW, you take any company, 8 points
yeah.
are applied as it is without any changes to any company that you take, any product that you take.
Okay. So I just have the one question in that local and global reporting content.
Hmm.
In that
Go
country,
ahead.
when when we work as a BMW in India, so we need to
Hmm.
follow as per the Indian accounting standard like GST, income tax, and TDS like that, all these things. So once require local clients was done, we need to submit report in the local income tax department or like that. So that is a
Correct.
follow by the local reporting, right?
Local
When we
reporting.
create,
Correct.
then we go to the group reporting. We need to follow specifically country, specifically group like that report we need to prepare.
Correct. Group is nothing but your company, because you're talking about BMW here. When you're talking
That we
about
call,
BMW,
yeah,
when you're talking about BMW, you're not representing anything after BMW. I'm just telling BMW, but
yeah,
BMW
exactly.
India, BMW US, I'm not representing there, right?
Yeah,
At BMW level, it is called as a group reporting. At BMW India level, at BMW China level, at BMW US level, it is called as a local reporting. Whenever company followed by country is equal to local reporting, company without any country specification is called as a group reporting.
okay. So recently you have talked currency like in the downside, 1 or 113 or country specifically, IFRS
Correct.
unit. That is what exactly, can you please explain again?
For example, you are operating in 3 countries. Let's say you are operating in India, or you're doing business in India, you're doing business in Singapore, you're
US,
also doing business in US.
exactly.
From India, you have got a profit of 10 rupees. From Singapore, you got profit of $10. From US, you got profit of $10. Now, overall,
Okay.
can I say you have $30?
No.
Overall, can I say you have 30 rupees?
No. Yeah. Overall,
Overall, I
it
can
is.
say you have 30 Singapore dollar.
No.
I cannot say because of only one reason your currencies are different. Agree?
Yeah.
For me to tell your total profit, I need to know profits in same currency. Is my statement correct?
Yeah. Exactly.
Officially, if you're doing a business in India, you have to follow Indian rupee only. You cannot follow dollar there. Correct?
Yes. Yes.
Officially, when you're doing business in Singapore, you have to do business in Singapore dollar only. Any other currency is not allowed. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Officially, when you're doing business in US, you'll have to do business with US dollar only. Other currencies are not allowed. Am I correct?
Yes.
Because you need to first meet the requirement of country specification. Correct?
Okay. Yeah.
Now, consolidating, finding out what is my total profit is your internal reporting requirement.
Yes.
Right? This is your internal reporting requirement. You decide in which currency you want to do the total. You can do total in any currency. If you decide to do total in INR, you need to convert Singapore dollar to INR, US dollar to INR. Agree?
Yes.
If you decide to do total in Singapore dollar, convert INR to Singapore dollar, US dollar to Singapore dollar. Or if you decide to do total in dollar, US dollar, convert INR to US dollar, Singapore dollar to US dollar. Agree?
Yes.
Now, this is again not your choice, not my choice. There are always a standard guidelines which are followed by the companies. The same standard guidelines we also need to talk. Changes are open, changes are possible, but since we are at the initial level of learning, do not go for a point which is subject to change. Instead, go with the points which are accepted everywhere. Now, the points which are accepted everywhere with respect to group currency, consolidation currency is strictly US dollar. Strictly which currency?
US dollar.
US dollar. Even when you're practicing, blindly keep in your mind US dollar is your currency for group reporting. US dollar will be the currency for your consolidation. No addition points there. It is blindly you feed it there. Tell your mind, blindly remember this. Tell your mind not to get confused.
Okay.
Okay. Now here what is going to happen whenever you record any entry in INR, system will automatically convert INR to dollar. So you post entry one time, you put $100, 100 rupees debit credit, system will automatically convert 100 rupees into equivalent dollar.
Okay.
That happens automatically.
Okay.
So when you
If we
pull the
make
report,
setting, yeah,
yeah,
please.
when you pull the report, automatically you will be able to see from Indian 10 rupee profit what is equivalent US dollar, Singapore $10 profit what is equivalent dollar, US dollar 10 what is equivalent dollar. Then when you have three currencies in dollar, is it easy to do a total? 1 plus 1 plus 1 is equal to 3 because
Yes.
three are in same currency. That is what is going to happen. To do the consolidation, you need same currency, same reporting year, and then same accounting principle, which is IFRS. That
Okay.
is what we
So
listed
that is
here.
okay.
These 3 points are supposed to be the same.
Okay. That is the internal reporting for our understanding to business. What are the profit we made in the financial
Yeah,
year?
this is mandatory in every organization. Wherever you have two
Yeah.
legal entities, this is mandatory.
So we need to, when we talking about the group reporting or like that, we need to follow these three steps: US, IFRS, and financial year.
Yeah. For example, what's your graduation or post graduation?
MBA, AM.com, sorry. As of now, I'm in
MCOM.
MCom. Yeah,
You did MCOM. How many years is your MCOM?
2 years.
You have any semesters or year based?
No semesters.
How many
Yearly two
semesters you had?
semesters. 4 semester in the 2 years.
Semester 1.
Semester 2, semester 3, semester 4.
Now, semester 1 is related to whom? Who wrote
Fi-
semester
fi-
1 exam?
First year. First semester
Who
one
wrote
and
semester one
second.
exam? Your MCOM semester one, you wrote or somebody else wrote?
I'm only wrote.
Second semester?
I'm only.
Third?
I'm only.
Fourth?
I am only.
Now I need to look at your semester wise performance.
Yes.
I need to look at your overall performance.
Yes.
To look at your semester wise performance, I need to know in each semester how many marks you secured. Agree?
Exactly.
I need to say you are pass in semester, you are pass everywhere. Now overall, if I tell you are pass, you are okay, or you need to know the result, whether I am first distinction, or I am first class, second class, or I am third class, or I am pass fail. You need to know, right? To
Exactly.
know, I need to do some kind of thing called a total. For example, you have total marks of 300 here, 280 here, let's say 310 here, and 335 here. If I do a total, I got this many marks. Now with these total marks, can I find out your performance?
No.
Why?
Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. We can find.
Right? Now if I
Yeah.
wanted to tell that overall, you cannot tell that in semester 1 I passed. What about semester 2? Right? Your overall performance is dependent on all these 4 semesters.
Yes.
Everything is your MCOM only. Now here you have two things. One is your semester wise performance, another one is overall performance.
Yes.
Now semester wise, let's say in one semester you got 90%, another semester you got 80%, another semester let's say you got 92%, another semester you got only 50 to 54 percentage. Now this is affecting your overall performance or not?
Yes. Affected.
Right? Your overall performance is affected because you are taking a consolidated. This is your overall performance. For this you have something called semester wise marks memo. You also have consolidated marks memo. This is what is written on your memos.
Yes.
This you mark it as local reporting. This you mark it as group reporting.
That's
Okay.
fantastic. That's great. Okay.
This is both are
Got it.
mandatory for you because you need to measure your overall performance because it is all about your MCOM.
Yes.
All are your semesters, all are your performances only. I need to measure, I need to award at the end of your MCOM course. What is your performance? Now company performance is measured at the end of every month. Agree?
Yes.
You have exam once after every semester. Company will have exam every month. Every month company will have to write the exam. Every month company will have to declare the result called profit loss, your semester result, pass fail. Right? Your
Yes.
result is pass or fail. Company result is what? Profit
Or loss.
loss.
Yes.
Similarly, you need to relate it. If you're able to relate in this way, I don't think you'll get any confusion.
No, that's fine. I understood in a better way.
Understood, right?
Yeah. Thank you. Have a nice
All
day.
right. Stephen?
Okay, hi AJ.
Yeah.
Just a just a quick question. I followed your logic on the like the 8 points that we are supposed to have in mind when we are doing like the prerequisites for creating a company code. Now, as I was as you were talking, I was following it and trying to follow draft a scenario. Now, in this scenario, in the country where I am, they use FIRS as the domestic, um,
Hmm.
yes, as a domestic
Reporting. Yeah.
reporting yes report. So in that kind of scenario, how is it possible for us to have a scenario where uh, reporting is FIRS, local domestic requirement is FIRS, or let's say group reporting is IFRS, sorry, and global reporting is US GAAP. Is it possible? But my primary question is that IFRS.
It is possible. What we were talking about is when I quoted IFRS, this is most commonly used for group reporting. This is most commonly used. Some companies will also use US GAAP, but this is not most commonly used. Only some companies will follow it. Okay, that is the reason I told everybody to take the example of your country as the local company or as your company code, so that you will understand it. Tomorrow when you're giving the interview or tomorrow when you're going to the market, most likely if you're working in your country, you need to understand how things are working in your environment, right? It is
Absolutely,
not
yes.
supposed to be in a generic way. It is supposed to be in your localized way. Those who are working in India, they need to understand as per Indian companies how things are working. Those who are in US, they need to understand according to US how companies are working. Those who are in some other countries, they need to know according to that particular country how things are working, so that we will eliminate maximum confusions at the beginning itself.
Okay.
Now,
So that means
if you
we can
take,
use, okay, sorry,
yeah,
we can use
if you,
IFRS for domestic
yeah,
and
you're in which country?
I'm in Canada.
You're in Canada.
Yeah.
Now, in Canada, what is happening? Local reporting, you are using IFRS,
Yes.
right? And group reporting, you are using what?
FIRS too.
This is also IFRS. Is this
IFRS,
correct?
yes. Yes.
Now, here we were talking about one statement here. For group reporting, this is what we represented. Agree?
Yes.
Now, is it matching with your scenario here or not? Only group reporting,
Yes. Only group reporting. Yes. Yes.
right? Now, we were
Yeah.
not talking about local reporting because local reporting differs from country to country.
True.
If you take 10 countries, this may be 10 different ones, or this may be different because some countries will have their own accounting standards. Some countries, they don't have their own accounting standard. Wherever a country has got their own accounting standard, that becomes the local accounting principle. In case if the country doesn't have their own accounting principle, then they will be adopting common global accounting principle called IFRS.
Okay.
But still you will have both, because if you take BMW, if BMW is not only operating in Canada, right? Agree?
Yes. True.
Right?
Correct.
Now, if BMW is operating only in Canada, I can think of eliminating this Y to duplicate.
True.
This is as per Canada. This is as per global, right? This is for global reporting purpose. This is for Canada reporting purpose.
Correct. Yes.
So both are mandatory. Is your question clear?
Yes. It's clear. It's clear now. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Ankita?
Yeah, is it audible?
Yes, yes, you're audible.
Sir, if we are working in India, but our project is in US,
Okay.
at that time we are following US GAAP or IAS.
It is not about, again, not about our location. It is always company location. It is all about company location. When we are talking about company location, if you go top, nowhere we are representing our location, right? This is all company location. In our
Yeah.
example, we took BMW, and in BMW we took BMW India. Now, as a consultant, you can work for any client globally. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
You can sit in India, you can work for a US client, you can work for Singapore client, you can work for XYZ country client. Depending on the project, depending on the client, their location, according to you need to understand the point. You are working in India for a US project. Your scenario will be BMW USA in your example.
Yes, sir.
Okay, but initially do not think from that perspective. Initially think from a perspective, your country and your client country both are same, because you will be in a better position to understand a company from Indian perspective than from a US perspective. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Because in India everything is supposed to be INR. In India you need to do tax reporting. In India you need to do government reporting, meaning your legal reporting. Chartered accountant will come, they will audit, they will sign at the end of every year, they will seal. All these kind of things you are aware in India, right? When you
Yes,
understand
sir.
from India perspective initially, you will have a clear understanding first. Later on, when you take any country, according to country you will understand, okay, in India local reporting is there, everything to be INR. You need to follow Indian accounting standard. Tax also you need to return. If you're talking about US, how US is doing? In India INR is the currency. In US dollar is the currency. In India Indian accounting standard. In US GAAP. In India, you are following INR as your currency. In US dollar as the currency. In India, INR is a local currency. In US dollar is a local currency. Agree?
Yes, sir.
In India, you have Indian income tax called GST and all. In US, you have federal tax, or you may be calling it as tax jurisdiction. Likewise, you will be able to easily compare that. I will write in the upcoming sessions. The additional countries I will add. I will add up to 5 countries and then show the differences.
Okay, sir. And one more question. At the class 5, you mentioned something like we are filtering the documents. What are all the posted in previous months in SAP?
Today,
No, at class 5.
we are filtering the documents. That is with
Uh,
respect to your project. That is with respect to your project. When you join any organization, you need to understand what is their business process. Usually nobody will tell you.
yes,
Usually
sir.
nobody
But
will tell you what is their business process. But as a consultant, you should know. Even if nobody is telling any information, you should be in a position to find out yourself.
but how can we filter those documents, sir?
You go to display document. You know how to display a document, right?
Yeah.
From the display document, you will find an icon called a document list.
Okay.
You need to click on document list, put your company code, put your financial year, just execute. You'll get the list of all the documents. Take that into an Excel sheet, put a pivot at the document type level. You'll come to know how many documents are there. You already posted any entries in SAP?
Yes, sir.
If you wanted to post vendor invoice, what will be the document type?
No, no, sir. I'm just only posted GL account.
What document type you have used?
Uh, essay.
Essay. Why you used essay? Why not any other
Um,
thing?
for GL
Because it
accounts,
came by default? Because it came by default, or for any reason you used essay? There is a big
for
list of
GL,
document type.
yes, sir.
Right? Each document type will represent a business transaction, meaning your business transactions are like your GL posting, cash posting, bank posting, customer posting, vendor posting, asset posting, tax posting, etc. Within the vendor, you can tell vendor invoice, vendor credit memo, vendor payment, vendor advance, possible.
Yes, sir.
Within the customer, customer invoice, customer returns, customer payment, customer advances, possible.
Yes, sir.
When you know this, you will understand, okay, this company code or this client is posting customer invoices. You know that you can sell to your customer with a sales order, without sales order.
Yes, sir, it sales or with the help of sales order, we can sell the goods.
Without sales order also can we sell?
Without also we can sell,
But how
but
do
we
you
need to.
identify how many sales are made with a sales order, how many sales are made without sales order? You need to identify, right? With the help of sales
Yeah.
order mean there is FIST integration,
Yes, sir.
right? These points to identify at a very high level, at very base point, at very initial days of your joining in a project. Before depending on anybody, before anybody tells you this is the project, this is the details and all, you can explore on your own. When you're exploring on your own, when you're trying to figure out the things, you will be more confident in the project,
Yes, sir.
right? These points we will practically see in the system. Whatever I'm telling, every point I'll show practically in the system.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And one more thing, sir.
Yeah.
I'm also joining CO classes.
CO, I'm not taking any dedicated batch as of now. The points that I'm telling in the interview session with respect to CO are the basic points to be known to everyone. That is not only to know the controlling module, that is to be known to every FICO consultant.
Oh, okay, sir.
Okay, CO batch probably I will start after 2 months. Dedicated CO batch will begin, but to learn that CO, there are so many prerequisites. I think that I would have listed in that session, maybe in the first session.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so once you are thorough with the FICO, only then CO is possible.
Okay, sir.
Sir,
But
Okay.
where will get the CEO videos, whatever we did in the previous session?
Those are in YouTube. No? There are only 2 sessions. Once the drive
Okay.
is created, you will get all the recordings in the drive. Drive is already created, already uploaded. Probably by Monday, everybody will have the drive access. From Monday onwards, recordings will be directly uploaded in the drive, not in the YouTube.
Okay.
Once we start the
Thank you.
actual configurations and all, they will come in the drive directly, not in the YouTube or anywhere. Okay. Yeah.
Hi, sir.
Yes.
Sir, I was like, asking you, like, when we will have the accounting basis class? Like you told that before we start with the configuration, we should have good knowledge on the accounting. So,
Correct.
uh, yeah. So, are you going to have it from next week?
Yeah, yeah. We will have it. We will have it. We will have it in line with the SAP
Okay,
accounting.
sir. So, yes, sir. Sir, one more
Okay.
question. So after we are done with the accounting basics, then only we will move to company code configuration in SAP, or how will be the sequence?
From Monday onwards, whatever the configuration I'm telling, that is not your day one configuration. Your day one configuration is not yet started. We are
Okay, sir.
still on understanding the basic fundamentals before we start our day one SAP FICO training. As I said, the first 3 months or the first 1 month, we don't count. You will be understanding different points with which you will have a different mindset. The way you look at the system, the way you understand SAP FICO will be changed. That time when we start our actual configuration, you will understand everything. Here in this configuration, what I will do, this configuration is not for you to practice what I'm going to show from Monday onwards. This is only to see and then understand, okay, how screens are looking like in SAP, this kind of a point. Not for your practice. This is not your day one configuration. This is not the real config. This is only to make you feel comfortable with the screen system terminology, how we are connecting these points with your general accounting.
Okay.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
sir, after that only we will get the server access. Like,
No, no, I'll give. Once I start configuring the system, I will give. So that when you're practicing the system, I wanted to make sure you practice the way we are doing it in this class, not in the experimental way. You'll have the
okay,
server access from next week onwards.
okay, sure. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. Patan?
Hi, sir.
Yeah.
Now I got the clear-cut understanding of group currency and local currency. Thank you for that. And in workings, I have found like it's a currency called transactional currency. So may I know the what is the transactional currency, sir?
Transaction currency is not something which is fixed for every company code, because as a business, you are free to do trade globally,
Yes, sir.
meaning
Group.
you are now purchasing.
Yes, sir.
You are purchasing. Is there any rule that you need to purchase only from India?
No, sir.
You can also purchase from US. You can also
Yeah,
purchase from
US,
Dubai.
Europe. Yeah, yeah.
Right? There's no rule. You can purchase anything. Now, if you are purchasing from US, who is your supplier? US or Indian?
US only.
And who is going to give invoice here? US person,
US only. Yeah.
right? And you will receive the invoice. And you're receiving
Yes.
invoice in US or out of US?
Out of US, sir. In India, for
In
example.
India, right? Now, he will give you invoice in INR because you're in India, or dollar because he is in US,
Dollar because he's in US.
right? You need to pay INR or you need to pay dollar.
We need to pay in terms of dollar.
Dollar. Do you have dollars in your
Yes.
hand?
No.
But when you make
We
the
have.
payment, your INR is automatically converted into dollar and then transferred to his account.
Yes, sir.
Now you are working in India. You are working in
Yeah.
India. You purchased from US. Now he gave you the bill in dollar. Now your invoice is representing dollars.
Yes.
Can you record this transaction as $500 and then submit to Indian official accounting authorities? Will they accept it?
No.
They will not accept, because your report should strictly contain INR. Agree?
Yes, sir. Agree.
Your financial reports are always prepared in local currency and group currency. This transaction currency can be dynamic, can be variable depending on the country that you're dealing with. If you're purchasing or if you're doing a transaction with other countries, other country currency may become your base currency, which is your transaction currency. Or in SAP, you would have found something called a document currency,
Yeah, sir. Yeah, I came across that as well.
right? Document
Yeah.
currency, transaction currency are one and the same. In a generic way, you call it as a transaction currency. From SAP point of view, you call it as a document currency. Document means, accounting is possible only with a document.
Yes, sir.
No
Journal entry.
supporting
We post the
document, no
journal entry.
accounting,
Yeah.
right? If I want you to reimburse 500 rupees for my taxi bill, will you just like that give it to me, or you need a supporting document from me?
Like supporting the.
You need a supporting document. Unless and until I produce the supporting document, are you going to record that this amount?
No, sir. With supporting document only, we have to record in SAP.
Right?
Yeah.
Accounting, it's not only in SAP. In basic accounting also, no supporting documentation, no accounting entry.
Yes,
Because
sir.
there is a proof that the transaction happened, right?
Yeah, we need to have some backup as well.
Right? There should be some
Yeah.
backup, there should be some proof that you purchased
Yeah.
something, give me the invoice. You paid
Yes,
something,
sir.
pay me the receipt voucher.
Yeah.
Likewise, when you're looking at any document, on the document amount is written.
Yes, sir.
This amount is always represented by a currency code, maybe INR, dollar, whatsoever,
Yeah.
3-digit
Yeah.
ISO code for currency. Now, on the document, whatever the currency is mentioned, that is your transaction currency. In the
Okay,
same
sir.
currency, you need to account, you need to write the journal entry, but you are not going to prepare any financial report at the transaction currency level or at the document currency level. Based on the transaction currency, you will convert your local currency group currency, meaning your trial balance, your P&L, your balance sheet is always prepared at local currency level, group currency level. Okay.
Okay.
At a transaction currency level, no trial balance, no P&L, no balance sheet, because this currency is used only for converting your local currency group currency,
Okay, sir.
because it is legal requirement in every country to record the transaction in the original currency and then convert your derived currency.
Okay.
Okay, when we start writing the accounting entries examples from next week onwards, these points will be automatically clarified. I'll
Okay,
put
sir. Thank you.
examples with different cases, with different scenarios, with which I will cover all the currencies, whatever we use in a day-to-day life, in any organization, in any project.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Banu Prasad.
Hi Ajay, my question is again related to currency. So suppose if a company is based out of India, so the base currency would be INR, and if that has branches like in US or Singapore, so the currencies will be different. So we call them as the local currencies. So when group reporting, the management requires the reports on base currency, right? That INR.
No.
The overall
Management of that
performance.
particular overall performance, you will always decide one currency. This decision will be taken at the beginning itself, meaning when you are coming into SAP, at that time you need to take a decision. Later on, you cannot change the decision. So you can take a decision of any currency that you want to do management reporting for the consolidation. If you decide your management to pull the reports for the consolidation purpose in INR, in all the countries INR can be taken. But INR is not a globally accepted currency. Agree?
Agree, yes.
Right? Globally accepted currency, first preference is always given to dollar. That is the reason most of the companies will always have dollar as their group currency, meaning their consolidation currency. So that is the reason here we will also blindly take dollar as a group reporting a currency, because tomorrow when you join anywhere, 90% you will find a dollar only.
Yes, agree.
Okay, so there's no point we will take a different scenario for the practice purpose. There are certain cases, there are certain situations where we should not experiment, where we should not think anything beyond the limit. Currency is one of the cases, especially group currency. Okay, group currency, strictly keep it in your mind, it is dollar, no matter what company it is, because 90% it is the same. When you're coming across such project where it is an exceptional case, their group currency is maybe euro or any other currency, in that project you will definitely come to know, right? It is not dollar, it is euro here. But otherwise, strictly dollar. Tomorrow when you tell to somebody, when you tell group currency is a dollar in my project, group reporting was done based on the IFRS, considering a January to December, nobody will ask any cross question to you. Everybody will tell okay. Other than this, anything that you add, you will get questions bouncing on your side. Back to back questions, rapid fire will happen, because that is something which will not happen in a generic practice. You're getting my point?
Yes, agree.
Right?
So here the
Whatever
group currency and
is
base currency are the same.
group currency, no, base currency is different. Base currency is represented as your conversion currency.
Okay, okay, got it. Yes.
Okay, you're talking about group currency. What is your group currency here?
USD.
Dollar, US dollar.
Yes.
Now, when you're recording a transaction, your transaction is not happening in dollar, right?
Right.
Right? For example, you're in India and you're selling to me. I'm also in India. You sold to me in INR,
Yes.
right? Now, your requirement is to make sure every transaction will have a record in dollar also.
Right.
Right? Now, your dollar is derived based on a currency. I need the dollar from what currency? From INR, I need to convert a dollar.
Yes.
For dollar, INR becomes base currency or source currency. This, when we talk about the currency conversion, I'll explain this point. How currencies
Okay.
are converted, what is direct quotation, indirect quotation, from which currency is getting derived, what is fixed, what is not fixed. I'll write everything in detail.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
All right. Mukund.
Hello. Hello, good morning, sir.
Yeah. Good
Sir,
morning.
my question is that our head office is USA. and our
Okay.
one company code in India.
Okay.
Then which is my local reporting, local currency, and what is the group currency of our company?
You have to look at these two always from an individual company point of view. You have to decide local currency, group currency as per India company code, as per US company code. The logic is fixed always. If you look at this logic is fixed always. If you scroll up, first thing, point number 3, what it is? For which currency, for which location we are going to implement SAP?
In USA
For example, if you are implementing in USA, for USA, what will be the local currency?
is US dollar.
US dollar. In USA, what is the accounting standard to be followed?
IFRS.
In US, it is US GAAP. In USA, for local
US GAAP.
reporting, you need to follow US GAAP.
Okay.
Okay. Now, when you take India, in India, what is your local currency?
INR.
INR. In India, what is your accounting standard?
IAS, Indian Accounting Standard.
IAS or Indian accounting standard. Now, when you wanted to consolidate both, you cannot combine Indian accounting with US accounting. You cannot combine INR with dollar. Agree?
Okay.
So to make it common, you need to have one more reporting called group reporting. For this group reporting, all countries will have the same parameter. Group reporting is common for all the countries, irrespective of what you have. It is dollar, IFRS, January to December, fixed for everyone. Whether you have
Yes.
India, US or India, US, any other country, group reporting is fixed with these 3 parameters. It is not change. It will not change. Only change you are going to write, you are going to notice is in the local reporting alone. Group reporting is fixed for all the countries. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in my case, that my local reporting is US dollar,
Yes,
because
correct.
USD dollar, USD gap,
1 minute. I'll
and
write
group
here.
reporting is
What is your company that you are quoting? What is your company name?
my
BMW
company is
only?
just Maruti.
Okay. For example,
BMW,
if I take
Maruti.
Maruti India, I'll take Maruti USA. Okay.
Yes.
Now I'll take local reporting. Sorry. Now, as per India, local reporting is what? Indian accounting standard,
Yes.
INR currency, April to March. Are these 3 statements correct as per India? Local reporting,
Yes.
right? Now, as per USA, what is your accounting standard? It is US GAAP,
US gap.
dollar,
USD. January to March.
fine.
January to December.
Are these 2 points clear? Any doubt in it?
Yes. Yes.
Clear or any doubt in this? This is clear, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Yes or no?
Yes.
All right. Next one, I'll write group reporting. Now, group reporting, we understood on the top, it is common for everyone. These parameters are common for group reporting. Yes, no?
Yes, sir. USD.
I'll simply copy it. I'll put this here. I'll put this here. No more confusion. I'll just put these two, copy paste here. I'm not even thinking blindly I'm putting this here, because group reporting is for consolidation. To do the consolidation, common parameters must be used. Only when every parameter is the same, consolidation is possible. If any parameter is changing, consolidation is not possible. Meaning, if I don't find a dollar, I cannot consolidate. I cannot do a total. Agree?
Yes, sir.
If both are not using the same accounting guidelines, I cannot do a total. If it is IFRS, if it is GAAP here, treatment may be different in some cases according to IFRS, according to GAAP. Possible or not?
Yes, sir.
When there is a different treatment, I cannot do a total because there is a differentiation, there is a dispute there is a change. Similarly, if it is January to December, April to March, I cannot do it. Why I cannot do it? There should not be any change. It has to be strictly the same. You keep writing any countries here. You put, for example, if I put Maruti Dubai here. If I put Dubai, local reporting is where you are going to have a change. This you are going to fill as per Dubai. Is there any change in the group reporting or it is fixed?
Fixed.
It is fixed. You keep writing 100 countries, you blindly put Control C, Control V 100 times. Group reporting, you Control C, Control V 100 times. Local reporting, based on the country, you keep filling it. Okay?
Yes.
Clear or still confused?
But sir, here is the in the Maruti India is the um, January to December is the group reporting, and local reporting is April to March.
Yes.
But in
This is
Maruti,
given. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Please go ahead. Hello? You're not
hello.
audible if you're talking. Yeah.
So here is the Maruti India is local reporting.
Okay. Yeah. Speak a
Here is
little
also
loud.
written
Your
group
voice is not.
reporting.
Yeah.
A group reporting is USD IFRS, Jan to
Correct.
December. So here will be
Yes.
changed now, April to March now.
No. Group reporting is not based on India. Group reporting is based on the corporate. Corporate is common for everyone. All the countries will have the same corporate guidelines. There is something called corporate guidelines, corporate policies. You would have heard these terms. Corporate accounting.
Okay, sir, understood.
Okay, these points you will anyways understand once we move forward with the further sessions. There, these points will come again. This is only the base, very basic fundamental to begin with. It is not that this is over. This is just the beginning of it. Okay.
Okay, sir, understood.
Yeah. All right.
Ajay, I have
No.
a question related to that. I think so I have
Sorry.
a last question over here. In the example you have given Maruti USA financial year, is it isn't it possible to follow April to March, or is it mandated to follow Jan to December for
It is
Maruti
mandatory
USA local
follow.
report?
Local reporting is based on the local authority decision. It is the legal requirement, the official requirement in US to follow January to December.
Okay.
Okay, any company who is doing accounting in USA will have to follow January to December. Like the similar way in India, why we are using April to March? Because that is Indian calendar year for accounting, for financial. Whether it is your company reporting, whether it is your income tax filing, whatever it is, all the financials will have to be submitted based on April to March counting. Agree? Is there any choice for us to change it? April to March in India to January to December? Is that
No,
allowed?
sir.
No.
It is not allowed. Similarly, in USA, January to December is also not allowed. The way April to March is legal in India, In the similar way, January to December is legal in US. Local reporting, whatever you have, is not in our hand to control, is not in any client hand to control. These are the instructions provided by the country legal authorities. Every company will have to strictly follow them blindly as it is. 0% possibility to change it, because these are coming from the country. Okay.
Okay, got it. Understood.
Yeah. All right, fine then. Then we'll connect at the same time on Monday morning. Okay, tomorrow we'll take a break. Monday morning we will resume our sessions again. All right, bye.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Happy weekend, Ajay.